Is this bringing you back, and does it seem like 20 years ago?
It's hard to believe it's been 20 years, but I think that this is this team's time right now. I think all the focus should be on this team. They've earned it. They deserve it. They've played unbelievable in order to get to this position there. So I think we should really kind of celebrate this team and what they're trying to achieve right now.
Have you seen enough in these first two games, Mark, to believe the Rangers can still win this series?
There's no question. Someone asked me earlier today what I would do differently, and I said not much. They've had every opportunity to win both games. They unfortunately weren't able to execute on some of the chances that they had in order to finish the games off, but that's the way it goes. They got some breaks against them. They got to go out and earn some breaks for them, but watching the two games, there's no question they can climb back into it.
Hey, Mark, how emotionally debilitating is it to lose two Stanley Cup Final games in overtime? And do they have to fight that and fight the urge to get down?
Well, both teams have shown the ability to get off the mat and fight back throughout the first three series of the playoffs. Rangers being down, Kings being down earlier on. So both teams have shown the heart of a champion. Both teams have shown the skill level that it takes to win, the goaltending, the depth, the courage, everything that you're looking for a championship team. So there's no reason why the Rangers are going to linger on things of in the past now. They got to look forward to tonight's game and tonight's game only.
This Los Angeles King team is like a zombie. You can empty the magazine, and it just continues to come at you. It's been that way for the last couple of years. First team in the history of the NHL to win 3 straight playoff games when trailing by 2 goals in each game. Can that be frustrating as the opposition when you have a team that just refuses to go away?
Well, I think honestly, you would expect that from your opponent at this stage of the playoffs. So when you get to the finals, you know you're going to be playing against a good team and a team that has all the elements of a championship team. LA has had an extraordinary run in these playoffs, thinking about who they've had to beat in order to get here and the teams and how they got here. So I don't think the Rangers are surprised, but I don't think enough credit gets given to the Rangers for their kind of ability to keep coming back and working through problems that have arisen through the playoffs for them too. So I think their resiliency has been a little bit underrated personally in this playoff.
Now, your former coach, Mark, I don't know if you realize, is now a columnist for the New York Post. That's Mike Keenan. And today he wrote that the Garden crowd can carry a team, but they can also get down on a team if it's not doing well. Is that how you remember it?
Of course, I see Mike has become a journalist now, which is great to see.
Kind of ironic.
Yeah, that's right. But listen, playing at home doesn't guarantee you a win. I think the comforts of home are what make you feel secure going into a Game 7, and you have to feel confident playing at home. The crowd can be a factor, there's no question about it, but you also have to put yourself in a position for the crowd to be a factor. And if the Rangers are able to do that, you'll see the crowd respond in the correct way. There's no question about it. They've been doing it for decades. They waited 54 years in '94 and a lot of disappointment. So I don't see tonight being any different.
Mark, you had mentioned you wouldn't change much out of the 2 games, but one of the things that I had suggested, just based on how he played in the third period and overtime, is Rick Nash maybe getting some more power play time. Do you think that might actually help this power play and maybe help Nash be a little bit more engaged as an offensive player?
Well, I don't want to get into critiquing decisions that are made because it's too hard from when you're not privileged information. But the coach always has to figure out where and position and put players in where they can make a difference and be successful. And maybe that might be something that they look at tonight. They've done all the right things up to this point, so I don't see any criticism that can be heaped on anybody to this point. But listen, it only takes one big goal to change anybody's playoff, good or bad, at this time of year. So Rick scores the right goal at the right time. A lot can be forgiven.
Now, will you be at the Garden tonight for Game 3?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I've been going to the games, bringing my son, a huge Ranger fan, 10 years old. He's nervous. Wasn't quite sure what sweater to wear tonight, so and my nephews are coming along with them, so we're all looking forward to the game.
Are you involved in maybe a ceremonial puck drop, anything like that?
Not that I've been aware of, and I guess I would have been, been privileged to that information at this point.
Mark, now you're so incredibly humble, Mark, and I know that you have not wanted to Bigfoot on this team. How difficult is that for you to show up at the games, and obviously you're beloved by the New York crowd, you're one of the all-time icons here, and not step on this team? Is that something that you worry about?
I think it's just being respectful. These players have earned the right to be here where they are right now. They've earned the right for the spotlight. It's their time. It's their year. And just trying to be respectful of that, and I don't look at it as being anything that I would expect anybody else to do. And I just believe that there's a lot of opinions and a lot of people weighing in, obviously right now, which is all great. But just trying to move aside and really let this light shine where it should be, and that's on this year's team.
Mark, I know you wanted to coach this team, didn't get the opportunity to. Is the relationship still whole between yourself and the Garden?
The relationship between myself and the Garden will never change. That's a lifelong relationship that needs to be and is good and always will be. There was no resentment whatsoever in the decision made. I knew it was a big decision, and I was only trying to help out in a position that was void, and thought I could do a job for the Rangers. But that's decisions are made. You move on. I've moved on. They've moved on, and I can't tell you